shared hallucination, or ghost encounter. When I was 15, I went into a mental institution for trying to end my life. My room was in the juvenile ward, second on the right at the end of the hallway where our rooms were. I've always had a bad habit of looking down at my feet when I walk. One night when I was heading to bed, early, I was looking at the floor, walking towards the hallway. When I got to the entrance of the hallway, I felt a very cold breeze that made me slow down and look up. At the end of the hallway, I saw clear as day what I can only describe as a black mist of a body silhouette, hanging from the ceiling on the right side at the very corner. I stopped, eyes widened, heart beating out of my chest. I turned my head to look behind me, to see if someone else was around to verify what I was seeing, as I had never experienced anything like this before. No one else was there. I turned my face back to the hallway and the mist was gone. I rationalized it in my head as a reaction to stress, new medication, and having had little sleep. I went to my shared room and kept what I had seen to myself. The next day, sitting in the day room with other girls, they were talking as we were all coloring. A girl whom I had bonded the most with, she was funny, creative, smart, had cool stories from travel, suddenly said, "I've been having a hard time sleeping here. I think this place is haunted. I keep seeing this girl that hung herself swinging in the hallway." I stopped coloring, shocked, instantly feeling chills run down my spine. No one else responded to her. Some rolled their eyes as if she was lying. I said, "Right side, very end corner." We locked eyes and a look of shocked excitedness came across her face. She said, "Yes, you've seen her too?" Apparently she had seen her multiple times in that same spot. She described to me the same description. Same size, same chill in the air as I had seen and felt. Why is there a tap on my window all the time it goes at night and even day? I had to run out of my room once. This is just one of the things they do. It's 12 p.m., I haven't slept. Then boom, I heard it again. What could taps on windows mean? It keeps happening over and over again. Then I looked at a portrait of me as a kid, and I see something in the background that doesn't make sense, like a man with no face. Then I see references to skulls, twice, and the Star of Bethlehem, Christ's birth. The star was born, the star that they used to find Jesus. And a phone dial. My dog has no reaction. It's not mental illness because I don't hear voices of any kind. I just deconverted from Catholicism, so now I'm vulnerable. This is the first step of demonic possession, demonic infestation. It will soon get worse. It sees what I'm writing. I want to find out more, but I need holy water. Is there anything I can do to calm it or learn something about it? I'm scared. Haunted new build home. So me and my family, wife and 2 boys, got a new build home about 9-10 months ago, which was great, as it is our first family home and nothing really happened for the first 6 months, until me and my wide were in the kitchen tidying late at night when I suddenly heard a low whisper right in my ear, which I assumed was my wife asking me something, but when I asked her what she said, she just looked at me confused. So I clarified that I heard her whisper in my ear, to which she immediately asked, "Was it a low, almost growl? So low you couldn't hear the words being said?" Which was spot on. We just kinda ignored this for that night as nothing really happened after that. Fast forward a month, my eldest son, 5 years old, starts telling us how a tall shadow demon man stands in his room watching him a lot, which he still tells us about still, which makes my ears prick up as I'm all about the paranormal while my wife tries to just pass it off as she doesn't like the paranormal being around our boys. So I start making symbols of power and protection to put around the house, hang dream catchers and put lots of crystals around the house, which seems to make my son less scared for the moment. Orange eyes. What could it have been? 2 summers ago, we went on vacation for a couple of days. The first night back home, I woke up because I felt something starting at me. It felt heavy. When I did wake up, all I saw was a pair of yellow-orange eyes staring at me. The body looked like what heat looks like. I don't know really how else to explain it. Not necessarily fire, but gas. After this, I woke up my husband because I just couldn't sleep again. It felt off. My husband tried to stay awake with me, but he just couldn't. I eventually fell asleep again, but I felt the presence again and woke up to the eyes again, only that it was standing over my husband and I watching us sleep. This time I yelled so loud I startled my husband. I'd never experienced that amount of fear in my life. To this day, I just can't put my finger on it. Strange message last night. Almost morning actually, around 4 a.m. I was holding my baby daughter who had just woken up then. Her mom had breastfed her about 10 minutes before, but she couldn't quite go back to sleep, so I went and picked our baby up. I was putting her to sleep, and as her bedroom was dark, I closed my tired eyes a bit. Almost immediately, a message came to my mind. Kapcia kapta chesta, but somehow it sounded more as kaptia kapta kesta, and somehow I thought it was something involving magic or something. Later on I googled it, but no return. I thought it might have been something in a game or high fantasy movie show, but nothing. I was hunted through the woods by a man who wanted to murder me. So this happened 2 days ago. I, 25F, was on a date with a girl, 21F. Let's call her Lex, and it was going super well. We've been talking for the better part of a year. Her co-worker invited us and her roommate, 25M, let's call him Kyle, to a party. It went super well, had a blast, and on our way back he drove in front of us while we took her motorcycle back and followed him. This is where it all goes wrong. He randomly turned into a parking lot, so we followed him, and it turns out he was passed out in the driver's seat. We did not realize he was this drunk. Lex tried to wake him up, and when he got out of the car, he just started beating the shit out of her. So I ran over and pulled him off of her and started beating him. Put up a good fight until he took me to the ground and started strangling me, then grabbed me by the hair and started bashing my face into the pavement repeatedly. Also, this guy is 6'2", and I'm 5'3". I started to fight back even harder to get him to stop because I thought he was going to kill me. So I clocked him really hard and he stood up, bleeding all over me and said, "I'm going to fucking kill you." At this point, Lex picked me up from the ground and just screamed, "Run!" So we ran in opposite directions into the woods and he followed me. I was much faster, so I was hiding in the woods while he walked around going, "Oh, Gabby, fake name. Come out wherever you are. I'm gonna fucking kill you." So I wound up army crawling through the woods so he couldn't see me, and hiding there until I couldn't hear him anymore. Lex had run the opposite direction, so she wound up by the road and flagged down a rando to call the cops, and they came and found me hiding in the woods. He broke her jaw and may have fractured my skull, waiting on the CT results. P.S. He was released the morning after due to bail reform laws in my state, but he will be doing time.